I wanted people here to hear too, just in the last couple of days, at least I heard it loud and clear, you would not get rid of the NSA, that President Obama wouldn't either, but you would use it more thoroughly to drill down what it's intended to do versus what it is doing.
My main complaint isn't against spying. We have enemies and we need to know who will attack us, and some of them are over here. We need to know who they are. My defense is of the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment says that you have to name a person, all right? If I see a warrant, the one Snowden revealed said Verizon on it. I don't know anyone named Mr. Verizon. And I think that's a generalized warrant. This is one of the, John Adams said that this was one of the sparks that led to the American Revolution, was this idea that soldiers could write warrants. We allow that now. They're called national security letters, and under the Patriot Act, an FBI agent can write a warrant. And I play golf with one of mine at home who's a friend of mine. He's like, "You don't trust me?" And I said, "Yes, I trust you. I would. I really do trust him. I think he's a good person." It's not about whether individual police or police in general are good or FBI agents in general are good. I think almost all of them are good. I would say 99% of police and FBI agents are good. It's about restricting the law so bias can't enter into it. So you don't have general warrants and you have checks and balances. If the police go to a house and they think a rapist is inside the house and they didn't see him run in, but they want to capture him and they think they're in the house, to get inside the house, they stand on the curb and they call a judge. It's a check and balance, because there was a time in parts of our country where maybe it was a white police officer and they just said, well, black men are guilty and we're just going in the houses of black men until we find one we think committed a crime. Some of that happened in our country, and so that's why you call a judge, to prevent bias from entering into it, but you also individualize the warrant. If you write a general warrant, the one that says Verizon on it means everybody has Verizon, we can look at all of their records. That to me is a general warrant, goes against the spirit and the letter of the Fourth Amendment. And so when I say I'm not against the NSA, I'm for them going and doing their business in a Fourth Amendment consistent fashion. So for example, the Sonarev boy that was responsible for the bombing, Russians tipped us off, we investigated him. That's probably enough probable cause, even if we couldn't arrest him then, to continue to tell a judge we want to look at his phone calls. If I were the judge and they called me up and say, the Russians have tipped us off, this is the evidence we have, will you give me permission to look at Sonarev's phones? I'm there, I say yes.
Why didn't they do that? Do you have any sense from hearings and everything else?
I don't know.
What happened?
They also didn't know he went back. I heard this, at least read one report. They didn't know he went back to Chechnya because his name was spelled different on one of the flight manifests. For goodness sakes, after 15 years, have we not figured out there's alternative spelling? I'll bet you there's some software engineer in the crowd here who could come up with the algorithm to figure out alternative spellings of names. But that's not doing good work on the people we have evidence on. Simpson, the most recent terrorist that went to Garland, Texas, they'd already arrested him one time. He spent a short time in jail. My guess is we could spend more time trying to figure out what he's doing and with probable cause and with his name on the warrant. And you can go as deep as you want into the stack. So you can look at who he called and who they called and who they called. Just keep putting a name on a warrant and ask a judge. And people say it takes too long. Make the process better. Judges are available 24 hours a day in Philadelphia to be called. If national security needs that, let's make our judges available 24 hours a day.